Okay, cool. So we're recording, and I'm Benji from Ben and Benji, and Ben can't be here today, but we're here with Jason Canvasser from the Clark Hill Law Firm, and he's another trusted advisor, an attorney that we've done a lot of business with, and he specializes in liquor licenses and other commercial real estate transactions, but he really has a great handle on the liquor license world. And we've been having some conversations about coronavirus and the effects of coronavirus on liquor licenses in his commercial real estate practice. And so we thought it would be a valuable thing to talk about and just give some good information about. So Jason, why don't you introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about what you're seeing out in the market?
Yeah, and thanks for having me. My name is Jason Canvasser. I'm a partner with the law firm of Clark Hill. I'm based in Detroit. Part of my practice includes representing clients locally and nationally on all issues liquor related. And so this is an interesting time with the pandemic, the COVID-19 pandemic, and how it's impacting that industry. And it's impacting the industry across the board. From hotel closures to restaurants having to either close or change their model, to grocery stores being overrun with people trying to get everything. We're seeing a full gamut of new issues. Anything from dealing with what to do when you have to close to dealing with the increased demand for spirits.
Yeah. So let's talk about specifically about liquor licenses and what you're seeing there. How are liquor licenses affected both in restaurants and bars and grocery stores that you mentioned? What's the problem?
Sure. So let's take them one at a time. With the grocery stores and the retailers, a lot of those businesses are dealing with a couple issues. The first issue is an increased demand for spirits. I think the Liquor Commission came out and said demand is something like 55% higher than same time last year for spirits. So they are balancing the act of having to make sure they keep their store safe, their employees safe, their patrons safe, while trying to meet demand. And one of the ways that they're dealing with that is curbside. Traditionally, if you want to sell any kind of spirit, beer, wine, spirits, all of them, you sell it inside your store.
Right.
One of the newer trends is these parking spaces. You see them at Kroger, you see them at Target, where you place your order online, you pull up, and somebody brings a bag of groceries, including maybe a 6-pack of beer or something else to your car. There's a whole process that those stores go through to get licensed so that they can sell in those parking spaces. Right now, 4 spaces aren't cutting it for the demand on them.
Right. So a grocery store would have to have that curbside pickup specifically named in their liquor license. Is that what you're saying?
Correct. Although we're seeing a number of people who are offering that to their clientele, maybe without the appropriate approvals. And so the question always gets asked in terms of what are the risks and potential liabilities. And so,
right. Is it difficult for a grocery store to get an exemption or to get an amendment or an addendum to their liquor license?
It's not difficult, but it's something that takes a period of time. So
it's a process.
Generally speaking, somebody's not going to say, I want to add a parking space tomorrow and have it. It's going to be a few months. You got to have drawings, you got to have inspections and go through the normal course.
Okay. What about bars? Well, bars are really closed for the most part, but restaurants, food and beverage establishments that are doing carry out and delivery and catering, how are you seeing the liquor licenses? What's the effect on them?
Yeah, so they're completely alternating their model from what they traditionally have. You don't have restaurants full of people. So there's a few issues. You have a carry-out demand. And one of the questions is whether or not you can give a to-go cup with like a Manhattan or something like that.
Right.
You've seen the traditional rules. If you close, you got to put your liquor license into escrow after 30 days. And so we've seen a softening of that rule to allow for this situation with the anticipation that some of these restaurants will be closed for more than 30 days.
has the Liquor Commission said anything specific and like put out notice that it's okay to be closed because the state's mandating it, or is there just an assumption that that's how it's going to go? I mean, how are restaurateurs? How are you handling that right now?
Yeah, so the Liquor Commission's issued a number of administrative orders, and one of the things I do is I read those orders and I talk to my clientele about how they impact them.
Okay.
So, the 30-day thing has been waived. Some others, golf courses, for example. Golf courses, there was a big discussion about whether or not they should be open or closed. Most golf courses have liquor licenses. And so the executive orders, the FAQs have indicated that golf courses should be closed.
Right. I think the most important thing that I heard you say is that for a restaurant or a bar who was open 3 weeks ago, who's closed today, they can safely know that in Michigan, that 30-day window before you have to put it in escrow has been waived, and so they've got time and they can figure this out, safely for both their employees and their customers.
Yep. And the other thing that's important to know is that we're coming up on renewal season. Every April 30th, licenses have to be renewed, and the Liquor Commission extended that deadline because of the pandemic.
Okay, good. That gives everybody a little bit of a room to breathe. You guys, when I said you guys, Clark Hill, obviously you have a great footprint here in Michigan. Where else do you have a footprint if somebody's watching this in other states? Where else are you guys able to be helpful?
Yeah, we are a national firm. We have 25 offices coast to coast. So California, Texas, Phoenix, Chicago, DC, the Pittsburgh, Philly area, just to name a few. But we're coast to coast with attorneys licensed in almost every state.
Okay, great. Well, I appreciate you sharing information with us, and I appreciate you helping our clients in the past and in the future. So we will talk soon, and we'll throw some links and your contact information below so that people can get a hold of you if they've got questions.
Appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
Thanks, Jason.